They say if you stare long enough into the abyss stares also into you. Which might be a problem for me because I don't want to scare it away. I need its good lootables. This room still being left burned is a reminder of what's waiting for me if I'm not careful. Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to From the Fog Mystery House. And last time we had a pretty devastating fire over in the new wing, but we rebuilt fairly quickly and I am full of ideas on how to expand. I've been thinking that I really like the idea of this room as being converted into like a parlor or a sitting room. And I like the idea of this being more open for that reason, having doors on either side, having a window so you can see in. And I think we can expand on that idea. So let's cut through here, boom-da-doom. But I can only spend so long on this because I really need to get mining. We are basically completely out of iron. And that's very bad news for obvious reasons. We need tools to keep expanding. That's another one of those unexpected ways where this mod has forced me to improvise. I'm going through way more tools than you would in a normal game. But there we go. Now you can see right into the dark corners as you're passing through the hallway at night. Maybe it would also work to get some bookshelves in here. You know, have you ever seen Guillermo del Toro's library? He's given like tours of his house, and he has this really creepy wax sculpture of H.P. Lovecraft. And the reason I say creepy is because it's not just like standing up looking all dignified and stuff, it's just sort of like hunched over in the corner of his library, just like stuffed back there. I have no idea how he lives with that thing. Some of you guys had come up with a whole bunch of ideas for how we could improve our fire suppression systems. What? Did somebody not like me talking about preventing fires? That's all the more reason why we have to. And some of you suggested that we should make the container out of a material that is more likely to burn more quickly. That is an excellent suggestion, and one that I'm going to be taking after we test the concept just a little bit. So, first of all, we're going to need some logs, and if I were to place these right about here, say, could we then take things like this and go boop, 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 and then go like that. Well, you'll get inside of it. Let's try it. Okay, so leaves will contain it. We just need logs to keep them from decaying away. Something else you suggested, which might become more practical depending on how things go, is to also use wool. And I think instead of messing around with like exploring distant lands to bring sheep back here, I know that there's some just over that hill beyond the old house. You know me, I hate every time I have to go out there, but it may just end up being necessary. I wonder then, what'll it be like if we were to chop some holes right there and replace you with leaves. I guess it doesn't much matter what type we use. There we go. And there is another fire suppression system ready to go. The weirdness we have to do. Although some of you said that some of the fires we experienced last time may not have actually been the haunting. Nox, the developer of this mod himself, actually said that one of them actually looked like they may have been due to lightning strike, which means I'm unlucky on top of being haunted. And, well, the rest may have been caused by my bed not being far enough away. Now that's something I hadn't considered, but I actually still don't know what happens if I don't place my bed far enough away. I hadn't really considered it. I had only really been thinking about it as far as whether I'm in a new room. Now this right here is all well and good, but I'm realizing now that this will only really work at stopping the flow to the lower floors. It's unlikely to come out onto here because it's completely open on the bottom. So I think maybe we should have one of these, at least some sort of tower, on top of every room, even if it's only 1 block thick. You also said that I could place cages by crouching. Ah, there we go. That's cool. Alright, that's going to be really useful because my main goal for this part is going to be getting the materials needed to regularly prettify. Because, you know, I'm running back and forth down these hallways all day and night. I want it to look nicer. Speaking of the opposite of looking nicer, it looks like these metal bars are actually rusting. That is really neat. I don't know which mod does that. But we want carpets, we want paintings, we want all that cool stuff. We've got the mods, we just need the means to build it. That means regular access to sheet paper. Well, we've already got paper, so things are looking up already. And there we go. I mean, call me paranoid, but we are fast reaching the point where my inventory is filling up with the ash of everything we've lost when this place burned, so you can understand why I really want to focus on prevention for the time being. This should do us just fine for now. Actually, never mind the fact that we don't have a door. I'm sure it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine, and everything's gonna be fine. Look, we've got water all over this. There's only so bad it can get. I say. And besides, this would be a good opportunity to test the 8 blocks idea because we're pretty high above the chamber we slept in last night. So actually, what that means is that it may be smart to start working in like a zigzaggy sort of pattern, you know? Sleep on one end of the house one night and another in another. I know it's tempting to sort of work in one direction, but that's why we have this really long look to this. Some might say you died for nothing. Oh my god! Oh, where do you guys keep even coming from? I don't understand it. Okay. Well, back right there, it's an easy repair at least. Crossing this lake on an autumn day. Being able to hear all the birds and see the sea critters crittering about on the surface, man. Like, it's so weird how deceptively serene this place of horrors is. It's so enclosed. And you know when I created the seed, like, I just spawned here. I didn't have to look around for it. So, I don't know. I feel like I have really, really good luck with world gen a lot of the time. But I know that there's sheeps around here somewhere. And I think I may have also heard a not-so-nice giggle. So even though it's during the day, we may want to keep an eye out. An eye out for eyes. Oh, there's one. Come on, you. Right this way. You're staring me down, but you don't seem... Oh, it was always wheat. Huh. Okay, well, that's no problem. We've got plenty of... Okay, now I don't really feel like moving you all the way around the lake. So I figure if we're gonna make some use of the farmland that's over here, we might as well build you a paddock right here, right? And by paddock, I mean you're getting in the dirt cube. No, really, we don't have time for elegant solutions at the moment. Sheep, where did you go? There you are. No, don't try and get out of here. Try and run too far, I'll dye you red and send you to the nether. I've done it before. Go on, this way. Anytime we can, we've also got to get up high, because remember, I am trying to find some kelp. I need kelp so I can make film, and I need film so I can try and capture Herobrine on camera. But we're not likely to see it in any of these rivers. Come on, nature, just one more sheep. You couldn't make 2 sheep? If I can get a second sheep, I'll use it to make 3 sheep. Then 4 sheep, probably 5 sheep, 6, 7, 8 sheep, 9 sheep. Oh god, I gotta find more sheep. Oh, there's another one, finally. That little spin, you look just as excited to be found as I do to find you. Alright, this way. Oh man, it's a hike. I really see, this is one of those things that you only really have to set up once if you do it right, but it's so aggravating, which is why I always start agriculture so late. Something I've been trying to do with series recently is to, like, just do the big projects, because otherwise, knowing myself, things just sit on the back burner for, like, 20 episodes. Sheepers beepers, where'd you get them peepers? Right over here, little boy. And boop, me when I get you. Now, thankfully, we should have some more wheat growing just over here, which we may harvest, thank you. And I think there's still a crafting table in here, yes. Huh, so this is still useful as a base away from base. Of course, sheep eat wheat and not bread, so I don't know what I was thinking with that. But there we go, we only need 2. We're spending literally all day on this. We finally have all of you in here, and with that, so I don't have to worry about it ever again. Let's just grab all the wool we can from you, and that's just gonna have to be plenty for now. We need to make lots and lots of colored carpets. And with one of those aggravating things out of the way, we never have to do it again. We just have to continue to grow that population. I saw you over there. I saw you. And now I just gotta figure out where I parked my car and, figure out how to get back across the way. It's starting to take shape. It's starting to be visible from across the way. It burned while I was out. But the damage doesn't actually look that bad. Maybe the fire suppression system did its job. I think that rules out the idea, though, that it's because I was too close. Okay, yeah, no. Now we're remembering why we shouldn't be out after dark. Every once in a while, I'll get a little bit too overconfident, I'll get a little too comfortable with my routine, and then that's when the game smacks me to death with my own hubris. But let's go back and survey the damage. Let's grab a couple of these, too, so that we can make dyes. I'm not worried about skeletons shooting at me, I'm worried about ghosts burning my house down. You gotta choose your superstitions in this line of work. But it's running out and down the stairs, and my bed is still burning. But you know what? We are not too concerned with that because this 100% worked. We only lost the room, which there's never really going to be too much we can do about that. But did it even spread to the lower room? I don't think it did. Yeah, look at that! It did not even spread to the lower floor. It didn't even trigger the adjacent thing. Okay, these are good. These are good, and they're made even better by your suggestions, so I am very, very happy to have all this. But right now, we don't have time to worry about repairing this. We need to build something off to the side, so let's bank our stuff and get to work. Actually, I'm almost tempted to just leave this as is. We have a literal water slide in the hall that just ejects you from the building. Cool thing is, when we've got monsters in the hall, we can just use a parallel hallway to avoid them altogether. Some of you guys compared this to, like, the Resident Evil mansion, and that's actually becoming a more and more apt comparison as we go, isn't it? Because we actually have to strategize and think about how we're gonna move around the house. Yeah, see? We could use a room right here, I think. What happens if we cut through this wall? Out to here. Oh, wow, that's actually quite a drop. But it does not have to be. There we go. A little bit of night construction, so it's going to be a little slapdash. That's okay. We can actually make a bit of a home in that tree, can't we? Just build a hall straight out there. I think a staircase going up will be quite thematically good because it's already stairs going up and out in every direction. Remove you, sir. And see, for now, this right here is just essentially going to be a little pod for us to sleep in. Once again, with no door, so that's not the best thing. But that's alright, because that's going to be a connecting terminal that goes to the opposite hill. If we put a bed down in here right now, that should be enough to spare us from any ill effects, and maybe not, actually, now that I look at it. Because, remember, it's 8 blocks from any bed ever. So maybe we move forward just a little bit more than that. There we go. I kind of like the idea of like this 1 block wide little like gangplank, because that means that it's still going to serve its purpose as a fire break, but it's also going to be one of the more cramped and claustrophobic hallways in this place. And of course we can branch off and do all manner of things from there. It is midnight. And I'm wondering now, have I seen that message before? I'm honestly not even sure. But we've got to cleave our way through all this in preparation for what's to come. There we go. Now at the end of this long hallway, we can stick our bed, and we'll worry about making this nicer in the morning. There we go. Now let's get some windows for this to make it actually fun to look at. Hey there, buddy. Oh, that was a good one. I don't know how, but you always seem to know just when to show up around now. Actually, I was wrong. This did still end up spilling out the side. I thought that by being open on the bottom, it would prevent that, but no, it's actually, it wasn't going down 1 block. There were leaves right here, so whichever direction this fell in, it would do what I wanted it to. Oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. And that's what's so great about challenge runs in games, in my opinion, is that they force you to think in more of an unconventional way. This is not going to do anything until we restore what was there. But, like, having to compensate for unique challenges, that's a tremendous amount of fun. That's what I think, like, difficulty adds to an experience. Wow, we can even contain the water within this and then break it. And yeah, we actually don't even need a whole complicated container. This is so much easier than I even thought. Oh, I hear you stomping around, but it can't take away my victory. New room complete, and I think this should probably look pretty interesting from the outside. In fact, maybe we should start building some windows so that we can start looking across at each other. It's kind of weird. Like, these are essentially 2 disconnected houses at this point, but it's sort of naturally forming in the structure of like spokes on a wheel, with that one little hub right there as the central point, because we've got the 2 coming out in these directions and 1 that's going to go back that way. But right here, we have the best view yet of the house across the lake. And I don't know, as our angle on it looks ever downward, I'm starting to see myself as being more and more in control of this situation. And I do think that a lot of that is because of you guys and your helpful suggestions for how to make this series not only spookier, but like real practical solutions to how to overcome arsonist ghosts, which is not a sentence I ever thought I'd have to say, but well, this is an interesting career. What can I say? I was pretty excited to tell my therapist about this new leap forward, but unfortunately she didn't quite see it as the sign of progress that I did. I tried to yell at her about it, and then I realized I was yelling to an empty room. What was I talking about? Anybody in here? No? Great. Oh, you're getting hurt walking over those embers. Well, that's excellent to know. Alright, got a lot of different things to think about right now. We are officially good on wool. We have plenty of dyes, which means we can start carpeting this place up. Now, all we really need to do is make our way down into the mines tomorrow, and we'll be good to go. After that, we start a tree farm, and I think it's really, really good to set, like, concrete goals at this point in the story. Maybe I'll make it so that I can have one of these in, like, each section of the house. I'm not sure. I know I've asked this a bunch of times. It's just a question of, like, how much do I want to be moving about during the night? I think somebody's watching me work. Although I have not spotted them yet. Yeah, that's right. Natural barrier. I kind of wish I could take some of these embers and use them. You've got eyes like embers. Well, okay, no time to worry about that right now. I'm just trying to get a second room ready for ourselves before we go to the mines tomorrow. And I'm actually now realizing magma kind of does what I need it to. So maybe we could grab some of that, possibly from the nether or from a cave. Yep. But now we've got another room prepared for tomorrow. That actually chilled me a bit. And right at midnight. Right at the devil's hour. Okay, let's get up here. I don't have the chalk on me, but I'll worry about that in the morning. And get to sleep. And now we are going to attempt some cheese. By doing that, maybe we can prevent any fires from starting. We'll just have to see. We'll be in the area, but close enough, so that'll be an interesting thing to check up on. Some of you have told me that hostile mobs are not actually capable of spawning on wool, on carpets. So I suppose we can take that to mean that, I don't know, maybe sheep's wool is somehow considered holy. So we can use this to make little safe areas, and while I'm mostly trying to avoid cheesiness like that, my bed is underwater to prevent fires, so maybe we're kind of past that conversation. Keeping a consistent flow of iron is important, and actually having all of these connected cave systems right beside us is a really, really good win for us. I'd like to find some way to incorporate this deep slate and such into, like, the aesthetic of the architecture. Maybe as roof stairs. Oh, we've got some new recipes for redstone. Ooh, what kind of amazing things can we make now? We can make candy out of honey and sugar and paper. Maybe we could have done without the paper. We didn't have to wrap it. No wonder we've got such low technology. We're constantly waiting for the finer points. I think, yeah, you're not really worth the extra axe hits. Just look at this. Here, all these particles we're seeing. That's the cave dust mod that I've got installed. It's all the little atmospheric things that just completely redefine the experience in my eyes. But remember, what we're after here primarily is not a fight, but iron, gold, and the ever-useful diamonds. We find those things, and we're good for quite a while longer. It's just, we've got to remember to pay attention to that clock. I see you. What is this over here? Is that diamond? No, what actually is that? Hang on, wait. We've got to deal with this dual enemy boss fight before I can find that out. Go on, Junior. Go back to being dead. What is this? Diamond. It is diamond. Okay, it looked very different from how I'm used to seeing it. Just the lighting, I suppose. This has been a productive run. There's even more over here. Alright, this area is worth fighting for. Okay, we're getting the heck out of here. Oh, feel that rain on our face. Well, I think I'm being stalked by a creeper, so I probably shouldn't linger for too long. Not the best take in terms of gold, but we did get lots and lots of diamonds and iron. So that just keeps us in the game for a while, and we already have a room back waiting for us. I think the next big project should be our tree farm. Oh my god, even when I come up, living in the forest has its downsides, let me tell you. Living in a haunted mansion in the forest has even more downsides. And now I've just remembered that it's not going to stop even in here, is it? But that light pouring through the window on a rainy day, I have to say, it's very much the comfy side of creepy and comfy. I don't know what it is about sunny, rainy days. It's the perfect weather to lie your head down by the window and read a good scary story. Maybe it's just nostalgia talking, but I enjoy it. There we go. I had a power outage recently, and I actually read for the first time in a long time. I mean, I read a lot online, but it's so rare these days for me to actually just pick up a book and start reading. Oh wow, we're missing a couple of glass pieces here. That's actually, you know, I'd be really concerned about leaks of things getting in from the outside if it weren't for the fact that anything can just spawn in here anyway. A bee. That would have been the perfect time for a jump scare, but instead we got something a lot cuter. Okie dokie. You know what? Why aren't I making candy right now? I mean, I'm hungry. I'm scared. The weather is cozy. Why is my belly not full of sugary sweets right at this very instant? Probably because the Bone Brigade are trying to stop me. But what do I care? Give me all your honey. Oh wow, there is a real strong fog starting to fall over this place. Fog out on a lake, can't help but be reminded of the brief trip across from Silent Hill 2. And this place is loaded with just as many memories, including the memory of the sheep that I forgot about. So let's just head on over to that enclosure and get more of what we need. We're also going to want to make more of them. Sorry guys, I know I keep saying this, but I promise I'll make more space for you at some point. In the meantime, give me your wool. There we go. Oh wow, it got dark in a big hurry. And perfect. We now have the closest thing to a mob safe zone. You know, I was thinking I don't want to cheese this, but think of it this way. This is a real resource sink. This could be one of those things that encourages us to really live the lavish lifestyle. Lavish in this instance meaning having carpets, but hey, it will actually render parts of our house safe, a good reason to invest. I'd like to thank this area for doing me the honor of not burning during the night. I can't prove that it would have, but it seems to have worked. To be honest, I like the fire suppression systems too much. Building areas out of wet leaves seems like the work of a crazy person, but not if you know the constant threat that the house is under, not the constant house that the threat is under. Although, I am not gonna cut and retake that because I find the syntax kind of funny. I'm a madman. You know what I'm thinking? This area actually seems really flat, and we could flatten it out even more if we wanted. Extract the resources, cut down the trees, use all this stuff, put it all into construction, and then make renewable trees that we can just grow over here. I guess maybe the reason for keeping sheep over here, besides laziness, could be to spare our livestock the cruelty of that which hounds us. Okay, so the way this tree farm is going to work is as follows. These trees over here get to stay along the coast so as to maintain the natural beauty. And everything beyond, everything inside of here is for cutting down, meaning we start with cutting down these big guys. These are going to be pretty much the last things we replant because it's really the oak and birch that we need more of. Over here is essentially going to be a preserve for growing all that stuff. And in the meantime, we can always put all these materials to use. Getting rid of these mushrooms. Some of you guys told me that the way these grow is actually kind of simpler than other things. Basically, it just needs to be dark. And as long as it's dark, they will grow. And yeah, that makes this pretty easy. I used to think they weren't sustainable. Turns out they may be some of the most sustainable things, which was kind of hinted at when one of them literally grew up out of my floor in the stairwell. Now that we've got a nice, stable place to grow stuff, the sky's the limit. I think tonight would be a pretty good night to start working on whatever's over here. So if we can get a couple of stairs going outward, we'll just build whatever's over to our left, and I think this little spot right here will be nice. You get out of here. First footsteps, now you. Why is it that at midnight, the activity seems to pick up in a way that seems more than coincidental? Alright, let's see. Can we get some honey from you? No, I guess we can't take straight from the bottle. I don't remember how to do it. No, please don't destroy my bees. Thank you. You destroy my bees, you destroy my livelihood. At least as far as my hopes of getting candy are concerned. Look at all this natural weathering that's occurring. This is so nice. Where have these mods been all my life? But yeah, I'm actually in a bit of a struggle right now because I can't find any birch. And I need to get a roof so I can sleep in this room. At this rate, I may actually find it necessary to just stay up for the night and focus on my building. It's not strictly necessary, like I can get out of this, but I kind of want to see what's going to happen. Like, is it just going to be a matter of not getting those speed bonuses in the morning? Or will it be a little more than that? I just don't know. And, well, it's certainly a safe test environment because we know we're so much farther from any of our other sleep sites. Some of you had mentioned that the way I described the gameplay in this reminds you a lot of the game Knock Knock. And I gotta say, the image of the main character is exactly what I was picturing when I came up with this concept, so I'm so happy that you see it the same way. I'm kind of curious. Oh, wait. I've never actually seen you march towards me before. Well, there goes my idea that you're running scared. Nope, in fact, you are now tag teaming me. Oh, that's just what I needed. I'll tell you just what I need. I want this to be a fire break. It'll do that. It's a narrow line that will slow the spread of fire. But we can make that even better, right? What if we could make that something of a DMZ? Something where no enemies can spawn? I don't know if that applies to Herobrine and Company, but there's only one way to find out. So the way to start that would be to go get ourselves some wool. We need wool and dyes. I can hear all the monsters moving about upstairs. The sun will be rising soon. It's funny, I think, how nightfall and the rising of the sun in the morning both have the connotation of, oh god, I'm out of time. That's a real interesting place to be in, and it's something that I really hope will kind of continue to present in weird ways as this goes on. 4 a.m. Now we've got to see, will this still count as a room, as a bed, even though we didn't sleep in it? I'm pretty sure the way it works, it will. But we gotta experiment with these things sooner or later. We can't go too long without knowing what these failure conditions actually are. If anything, this is going to be all about pushing our limits. Although your limit I'm not too willing to push for the time being. There's the sunrise. Ooh, I would actually really like to get upstairs to see this. To our current viewing platform. First sunrise we've actually stayed up to watch. As someone who has been quite the insomniac before, it is really kind of a bittersweet feeling. On the one hand, it feels like a reward for making it through the night, and while there is always some sense of accomplishment seeing the next day without having to wait from the last. But also it means you've toiled another night away, that your sleep suffers some more, that the hallucinations will probably be arriving shortly. But who cares? That pinkish-orange hue going over the mountainscape is a reward all its own. Now it's just a question of when it'll actually count us as having survived the night. I want to say 7. Well, we've work to do. Do you see this? Something's happening to us. Wait, oh no. Oh no, my vision's fading. Hang on. Okay, we need to rush back. Rush to where the bed is and hope that that matters. And just like that, it's gone. Did we just see something? Oh, God, it's like in my sleep-deprived state, I'm subconsciously registering things amiss, but I myself don't notice them. At a certain point in this series, in the not-so-distant future, I'm going to do a sleep study where I continue building rooms, but I'm going to not sleep in them. I'm going to see just how long I can go without sleeping and what the negative effects of that will be. There we go. 25 rooms, day 26. I don't know if it counted that as a room. I will honestly have to ask Nox about that. But in the meantime, I want to see something. I've always been told that the way these plants grow, and we're going to need a lot more dye, is that the seed already calculates where they are, and anytime we grow, they will be there. Well, that's a lie, because we just got a yellow flower. I don't think we've seen any of those before. Not bad, though. We can always grow more of this stuff on grass in order to get more dyes for more carpets. Oh, yep, nope, here we got fire already. Wow. That's kind of surprising, although the fire break again working wonders. I'm really not so sure about this. We need lots and lots of oak, so we're going to start planting oak saplings just everywhere we can. I'm not sure what the distances that are actually required are, but I don't think it's as much as you would think. So I'm just going to place a bunch of these, and I'm also going to put down a whole bunch of birch for our ceilings, and I think that'll serve us just fine. Look at that, we're starting to see some grow already. Thankfully, trees are year-round, so we don't need to construct an entire garden greenhouse for them. But look at all that. That is plenty of room to grow things. And we have plenty of room for bone meal. We've been collecting so many of these. There we go. I'm not quite sure what causes some of these to eat up like 1,000,000 bone meal and some just sprout up right away. But in any case, yeah, I was worried for nothing about distance. This is incredible. Our problems are over. And we've got our chest right here where we can deposit whatever excess logs we've got. And we can always just go straight back in for more. a repository just a few seconds trip away on the lake, and we'll have just essentially infinite building materials. Ooh, I've just realized this also means we're going to have a lot of apples, meaning there's really no reason not to make some golden apples with which I can cure some villagers. But I think we also need to make a potion, meaning that we need to get back to the Nether and try and get some of those blaze rods by simply placing ourselves just across the hall from where we were before. I think that should be more than 8 blocks, and this should be a good spot. Of course, this time we're going to remember to not leave this room without building a fire suppression system. And I think at this stage I am going to go with having little areas in each wing dedicated to storage and crafting, because this is starting to get a little bit ridiculous. Where are you? I also need to build more armor. You know, now that I'm getting a look at it all from this angle, I'm starting to realize we definitely do need to build up more in a way that really emphasizes the peaks, the spires, building them not just for fire breaks and for water suppression systems, but also, well, just for the coolness of it, just to give it a texture along its surface. Just as the mountains get their texture from the tops of the trees, we should get them from our spires. And so I sort of had this idea that at the end of this long outward column, maybe we could even build ourselves a much taller tower, something that's much taller than it even needs to be. Oh, I am hatching ideas now. Actually, such a thing would... Hello? Oh, a trader! Huh. Haven't seen one of you guys in a while. What are you up to? Bog apple leaves, melon seeds? Ooh? If only we had emeralds, I would actually be fairly down with that. Unfortunately, we haven't discovered a single village, nor have we mined any. But you've actually got a pretty good selection for once. I was also thinking that by building a great tower up here, we could also use that to scout the land. I haven't really been able to travel very far, but in doing so, we could maybe look for an ocean, someplace we could find some seaweed. Hey there, dude. Hey, are you seeing this? I feel like he's trying to get a hold of his llamas, like they saw something, they had the sense, and he's trying to figure out why they're so spooked. Well, if anything, that just reaffirms I am not crazy. Well, not in the way I thought, anyway. So let's clear this out. I still want to have enough versatility to have hallways going that way, but beyond that, this will be the entrance to our great spire. We need to plan for how we want this staircase to actually work. I mean, we could just do a ladder, but where's the fun in that? I was thinking... What if we don't actually have the opening in the middle? What if we go like that, and then have an opening here and an opening here, and then have them meet in the middle? That could be cool. No, please don't seal yourself inside the stairwell. No, come on, guys. I'm gonna need you to move along now. You guys have a way of showing up at the most irritating times and places, don't you? That was really creepy how you just answered me. Oh, don't play dumb. Actually, I'm realizing this is probably gonna have to be done a tad differently, which is completely okay. We just go like that, and then up here, we can go boop, and boop, and then you guys can start to converge in the center. Right here. I'm not using appropriate landfill materials because you guys keep getting in the way, and I'm just using whatever I can get. There's got to be a way to deal with this besides killing you. Alright, I think I've pretty much worked out the shape of how this is going to go. Everybody just wants to watch me work, huh? But yeah, now that we've got this set up, it constantly splits and converges from 2 to 1. Sort of like my psyche. Totally intentional. I totally didn't just ad-lib that in the moment like everything else in this series. Look, we're starting to reach above the treetops. Howdy. I don't know why that spooked me so much more than anything else. The fact that I'm on my peak and you're on yours. But if anything, that's just the house doing its job. Oh, hey, look who decided to join us. Whatever, you can have this watchtower for the night. I guess as a trader, it helps to know the lay of the land, but right now I've got to go build something. It was nice to have a resource sink for all of this wood we've built up. And we'll work on making this a bit nicer in the morning, but for now we need somewhere to sleep. And I think a good plan would be to go back in our initial direction, back towards that first section of the structure. God, that was terrifying. Jeez. The way you were just like looming in the shadows there. All right, we've got to finally build that ladder and work out where we're going to do that. Oh, look at that. Our mushroom collection is continuing to expand in this stairwell. I'm just trying to think of where's the best place to put this. I'm still thinking immediately outside here. Actually, what would be much simpler... This is all about experimenting, right? I still don't remember if I ever actually slept here. What if I did, just to see what'll happen? This is the kind of thing where I'm actually going to back up my save first, because I don't know. For all I know, it could end the save. In the demo that I recorded, that actually was the case. I was going to end the series if I had to sleep in the same room twice. Okay, backup made. Let's do it. Monsters nearby. You're really trying to keep us in suspense, aren't you? But whatever the issue, it's already done. We've chosen that as our bed location, and that's where it goes. It keeps saying there are monsters nearby, but I haven't seen anything outside. Meaning that whatever it is probably right up here. Wow, this whole wing is going to be infested by mushrooms at this rate. Hello? Oh, you guys, in this situation, you guys are actually a lot creepier. There's not much I can do to get rid of you, and I can't even look in your general direction. Oh right, these are slabs. You're gonna cause us issues. And you probably just teleported into the adjacent room, right? Did that really do anything to get rid of you? I can still hear you. But at least now we can sleep. I guess you do count as enemies? I could have sworn we had slept away from you for a while. But there we go. And we didn't die, so, you know, that's a good outcome to going to bed at night. There we go, starting to get our windows in. And I think climbing these stairs is going to be a joy from now on. Or at least what passes for a joy around here. And you've decided to head out over the treetops like a parkour master. You were hiding your skills from us all along. That's alright. This thing is almost done with construction, and I was going to say I'd like the company, but I really don't care too much if you stick around. You caused me a lot of trouble. Well, it is always cool being able to get such a different perspective on our own home. I mean, you really see how sprawling it is, all the things we've done to try and keep it in one piece from this angle. You know, I'm actually kind of obsessed with the idea in architecture of being able to look down or look out a window and see other parts of the structure that you're currently in. It's always been fascinating to me because I feel like when you're in a large building, all you see is your own self-contained little area. But when you go out and find that this is your view, that's when you really gain an appreciation for just what it is you're in, for how sprawling it is, and for what a commute it is from one end to the other. It gives you a sense of the macro scale when you're so used to the micro perspective. But I think we're fast approaching the end of this construction project. I think we're pretty much out of dark oak, and, you know, this will be just about enough. Although I do have an idea for how we can expand out in that direction. If we go down a couple of levels, I still got to put in the windows. Say if we go down to here, maybe we could have a breezeway going across to that other hill. I mean, we're going to hit a limit pretty shortly on the bottom, which we can still expand down there, but this way we can actually take this house up and over the hills. Now that'll be something. I was also thinking, how cool would it be if up on the top here, I mean, this is going to be a special structure. What if up here we had another seance room? All right, let's see. Did anybody try to burn this? It doesn't look like it, although I suppose it wouldn't. Yeah, I promise I'm not going to do this cheese anymore, but this house has no fire suppression systems on this side. I was also hatching another thought, and I think it's going to be necessary now that we have something so tall in our base and a hallway leading up to it. I'll place you there, and yeah, we can see how that looks. Just a little bit of an overview as we go through. We'll move one more glass block back here. How far back can we push this? Let's move you back even more. And I think that looks really nice. Look, the way the sun sets just behind it. Which reminds me, we are going to have to get up there and finish our Tower of Terror. Do you guys see that? I don't know if it's just the dots from these mushrooms, but I swear I saw Herobrine's eyes staring at me from out the window. Something else I'm now realizing, we're gonna need more wool. I am gonna want to carpet up this staircase. The last thing I want is creepers spawning inside here at night. I'm realizing now that I'm actually gonna need a lot more cobbled deep slate for what I had planned. And that's kind of okay because I gotta get back down into the mines anyway. So I think we'll have to save this for tomorrow. And in the meantime, I'll just build someplace else. Yet another unideal room, but one which continues down our other hallway. And we have got to get back to work in that tower, but not until we get back to work in the mine. There's just so much we need to do, but it'll be worth it in the end, trust me. There's some gold, so we finally got some more of that. Useful for luxury items at least, but right now all I care about is volume, cobbled deep slate, and iron, and lapis lazuli, which will help with the seance room. Oh hey, some diamond. Once again, useful for the seance room I'm planning. Now I just gotta get over to it. We are spending so much time, but at least it's already mostly built. This ambiance is really something, isn't it? But my pick has broken, and now I just need to get out of here and do the most with what I have. It looks like we've got a little bit of a fire burning down there, but thankfully the rain extinguished it. Okay, how are we going to continue to do this? Answer, probably not in the easiest fashion. Stuff like this is so annoying in survival. I'm thinking since this is going to take at least another day, we may as well start early on moving out here. Oh my god, this is so scary. I hate working with heights in survival mode, especially with stairs with heights in survival mode. Everything is so difficult. You, and you. And you, and you, and now we have got our room for the night. I think this is pretty cool. Especially when you see it from this angle. I mean, that's kind of how I'm building all of this, is how will this look from other areas in the house? And I think eventually this will just be sort of like a living room type thing, but for now, let's just stash ourselves the closest to the tower and go to bed. Now that is a nice view of the morning light, don't you think? Of course, we are not going to leave this area without first getting ourselves a fire suppression system, because that is a mistake I have made far too many times. So let's grab a couple of logs we can use. And I do think that the best way to do this is to just go like that. Let me just confirm that that works the way I think it does. It does. And that's all we need. We've been lucky so far with our fires because we sort of built these fire breaks naturally into the structure, sometimes even without meaning to. But we're not going to get lucky forever, so we need to bear that in mind. Speaking of commute to get from one place to another, commute going up and down here. Oh, hey, it's you guys. Well, make yourself at home. You're gonna see some crazy stuff if you think you want to set up shop in here. I'm actually on my way to go do a mining run, so I don't really need you giving me trouble at this moment. But I'll kill you on the way back, tell you what. Oh, I can still hear you up there. If you guys actually follow me down here, that would be really funny. I wonder how far you can actually get a hostile mob to follow you. Also, before here, I don't know if I've ever seen fish die of fall damage in such large numbers. There, now you get to die in a cave. Is that what you wanted from life? Actually, I just remembered a way I could make much more efficient use of this stuff. If we go... What was it? Oh, right there. Okay, stonecutter, yes, okay. So 1 iron ingot, we got plenty of that, and 3 stone, we just need to smelt it. We could potentially get a lot more stairs for our buck, which is what we need to build the roof of the tower. If I can just find some coal down here, which shouldn't be too hard. There we go, clusters of creepers. Actually, sort of a good thing, because that, that pretty much causes all of our mob problems to take care of themselves, don't they? Yeah, I'm literally just using creepers to do all the killing now. We got the armor to take it, and I don't really have the axe to fight. Plus, it's just faster. And seeing it right now, it's almost like an incomplete lantern just waiting to be lit, huh? I cannot wait to get this thing done. Now it's time for us to go upstairs and find out just how much we've been screwed while we were away. Did a fire start in our distant area? Seems to be okay. No water pouring through here, which means all is good in the hood. Getting late, yes it is, but I am determined. I think this is where we're going to sleep the night, even if it kills us, which it very well might. Now, we can start putting these in here. The skeleton is complete. We've just got to top it off, which unfortunately may still require another trip to the mine. And there we go. In any case, we're going to have to make sure that there is a bed up here. We'll just stick you... where can we do it that we're going to ensure we're not going to fall? Probably right here. In front of that view, huh? Okay, this is why we wanted to do this. Every once in a while, we need to look past the technical side of this and just appreciate that fact. But as of right now, I still think I can do some building. It's going to be very, very dangerous, though. Okay, out here, let's get 1 gap of space. And just build ourselves a little dirt scaffolding. By the way, I was talking about this with my brother last night. The progression in Minecraft when it comes to craftables is actually not very good, is it? Like, there are so many things where by the time you get them, they're not useful anymore. Let's sleep here, counting this as a room. And in the morning, we've just got to get back down into the mines. It really makes even a fairly simple project like this mod, into something you've really got to plan for. Something that, well, I suppose, credit where credit is due, will feel like much more of an achievement by the time it's done. And pretty much finished. Okay, that was quite an ordeal, but I am happy with the result. Oh, very, very happy indeed. I cannot wait to see what this thing looks like from a distance. But now we will simply deploy our... Hello. I was going to say we could deploy our safety water to levitate down, but that doesn't seem to be happening. Alright, we'll just use some regular old deep slate. Put that right there as a cap, and go down our dirt scaffold. Yep. God, it's just really, really nerve-wracking to use this stuff. I'm thinking if we want to add some detail to the back wall here, without falling down preferably, we could go like that and like that, use our glass panes. And now, here's what I'm thinking. If you're facing this thing, say you're a traveler, right? And you've been going through the forest, scrounging for berries for who knows how long. You come upon the back of this, coming over the hill, see this in the horizon. And if the sun is rising over there, what you'll see is two glowing Herobrine eyes out the back of this cube. Oh, I see. Haha. You actually can't come down here because of the lip. I have to crouch to get through there. That is perfect. Of course, none of this is complete without the secret sauce. It's not a seance room until we add the magic. And in order to do that, we're going to have to grab some more materials from the nether and from right up here. Oh, I hear you guys moving about out there. You guys wish you could have a house as cool as this, which, you know, I'm now realizing does not have nearly as many exterior doors as it should. Ooh, but look, wait. I've completely forgotten to check the view. There we are. Now that is nice and imposing. You know what? I sort of fancy the idea of having a staircase in this room. Not really sure why. Just sort of caught my attention as something I could potentially do. Let's go like that, and like that. And like a couple of these. Ooh. Actually, this is taking us to here. Alright, hatching even more ideas. One thing that I always wanted for this was for rooms to evolve, not just be built and left behind, so this is one way we can go about seeing stuff like that through. This wing has been left neglected for entirely too long, which is why I'm going to start putting more effort into this in the next part, probably. Getting ready to wrap things up now, but I think one great project that changes everything is pretty good per episode, and in this case we've got several. Got the sheep farm going, got our second seance room. Well, actually the tower is the second seance room, but, you know, we'll count that as two things. I count it as two things. And in the meantime, we've also got our tree farm set up, so we're never going to have to worry about materials ever again, which is all the more reason to build up here. Oh, I did not mean to sleep through the night. Alright, well that means that our fire suppression system is gonna have to get built earlier. Okay. But right now, I have got to make a quick stop in the previous seance room in order to get the materials to work on the current one. Excuse me, sir. Who'd have thought a portal to the underworld could invite so many pests? Oh no. Is that what I think it is? I think that winter is now upon us. Meaning, it might be difficult to grow crops for a little while. I guess there must have been a waterfall here at some point, because that is a whole lot of obsidian. I think I also see diamonds up there, so I'll keep that in mind. I don't want too much of this because I don't want to lose too much light. But I do need it for the seance room. And with our lights now in, this being allowed because it's a seance room, we simply install our magic. And now this is the tower from which the raving lunatic does his devilry. Oh yes, this was a productive episode. And now our old problems seem to get very small by comparison, don't they? Although, you know how it is, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and we've always got to remember who's watching. If anything, all we've done is create more to lose. I'm really happy with the way things are progressing, and I might start trying to get these out more than once a week. It's just that they do take a really long time to record. I think this is like 5.5 hours recording for this part. There's just so much busy work to be done. But you know what? There probably shouldn't be as much now that we've got the farms in, and we'll only continue to expand those as we go. I really need to scramble to make myself a new room for tonight, but you know what? We're expanding in 2 different directions at once. We've got a lot of materials under our belt, and we've also discovered some pretty practical solutions to the problems we're having that aren't cheesy. I don't want to leave water on my bed anymore, but these things work. I don't want to, deliberately block mobs from spawning by putting lights everywhere, but we can put carpets on certain areas. That's expensive. So I'm really starting to see how this can work and take shape. The plan now is I'm going to expand this part of the house, and come morning, we are going to finally do our long-awaited decorative pass. Howdy. You come to watch me work? Yeah, no, you're just angry because I finally caught on to your game, finally developed a system that will prevent your fires. But I think here should be just fine for tonight. We'll put a window here and here, and that's even more nice viewing angles for us. Oh god, you spawned up here? That shouldn't be possible unless you just kind of crept up there. Well, this is one of those reasons why we need to start expanding our carpet production. Which we can do very shortly. I don't need you sassing me. Now it really is a commute to get across the house, and around any of these narrow, dark corners could be one of any number of dangers. In fact, this dual staircase setup has made it so that it's possible to get blindsided if I choose the wrong direction. So that's always fun. And I think the way I'm going to do this is that the bed... don't you take my blocks on me! I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm always going to place the bed so that it's the farthest, obviously, from where I need to be, but I'm also going to place the chalk directly above it. We've more or less been doing that anyway, but now that it's an official rule, we can set it up so that we know where the bed was and can count out from there. Of course there are monsters nearby. I'm here. Imagine the annoyance if they actually decided to go that route, try and make some kind of cogent point about how we were the real monsters and that's why we can't sleep. That would get aggravating far more quickly than we were impressed by it. Alright, now can I sleep? I don't think you were the problem. Better still count it. Oh my god. I've never had one just, like, rush up at me like that before. I can see something burning over there. Oh, it's another of those jack-o'-lanterns, but they're spawning really far away. And I still... There you are. You knew it was coming. Can I get a decent night's rest now? Even if only for a moment. So you do count. You count as a hostile mob, which can stop us. God, I do love the look of that, though. And it is a reassuring sound to hear you guys being ignited. Alright, no more waiting around. Let's fix this place up, shall we? And actually, we can start right here with these things to make sure that nothing is waiting for us on these landings. Oh, and there's something else I believe one of these mods does that I do want to show off. I've been wanting to for quite a long time. Let's just take our daily trip all the way down. Yes, we can place carpets on stairs now. That is going to add so much flavor to this whole thing, isn't it? Perfect. God, I just love the way the morning light looks coming through this skylight. You know, with these shaders, the dynamic lighting actually changes the feeling of a room depending on the time of day, which, you know, is quite a realistic thing, but I really like the way that it's presenting here. Maybe we should start letting some more natural light in. But also, I've been doing some reading, and apparently we can actually get honey from these things. It's just maybe it wasn't working because I had the torches selected? Yeah, no, it said we gotta use a bottle on a beehive. I don't understand why it's not working right now. Maybe it needs to be one of the constructed beehives? Let's try it. Let's try it with you guys. And if nothing else, we can just get a few more bees and have them move into this. Just expand our capacity just a bit. There we go. And now we can just kind of like wait for you guys to do your thing, I guess. And if we could get some beet farming going, that would be a truly excellent source of red dye. But as it stands, we're pretty much dependent on these flowers here, which I believe we can respawn with bone meal. Alright, sheepies, behold your new accommodations. Yes, no need to thank me, I am a generous god, and my only requirement is that you not worship false gods before me. There we go. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no you don't, son. No, okay, see, this is what I was talking about. See, freedom, that's one of those false gods. That's one of those ones that you need to get out of your head immediately. And as long as you understand that, we'll be good. Did not expect you to be beaten to death by that shovel so fast. Howdy. Oh, you're just everywhere today, aren't you? Alright, let's hurry up and get this done and get back out there. All I need mainly right now is oak. And all that's really growing is birch. Hey, this thing didn't burn? That's great, because I forgot to build a suppression system. But yeah, now we can really start carpeting this thing up. I'm not going to worry too much about the stairs. I'm not sure if they can spawn on those. But I am going to want to get each of these. In fact, we should probably... Oops, I didn't realize you could stack like that. Should probably do all of this first, because the last thing I want is you guys spawning in this narrow hallway. There we go. And now this place is starting to look fancy already. I hear you out there. Now, we're making a room that's essentially identical to the one that's on the opposite side of the hall. However, I want this one, or rather, it's a modification. I'm going to make both of them to be a little bit fancy schmancier. And it's an idea that I got from one of the ones we built down there a couple nights ago. Second zombie I've seen do that. And I really don't know what's going on here. Like, I don't think I've ever seen mobs just disappear in Minecraft before, but here we are. But yeah, what do you think of this? Wraparound deck on the outside. And in fact, we can even do a little thing like that. Ooh, I think we just got rid of our chalk. But that's alright, it's kind of irrelevant at this point. Now we've just got to place our doors. Now if we come back through the breezeway and have a look out the windows, you can see that the porches are complete. Having a couple outdoor seating areas, I don't know, it's something that's sort of taken hold of me. And we gotta remember to have style sometimes, right? But let's go to bed. The mobs seem to be kinda leaving us alone for now. Which, to be honest, always makes me sort of suspicious. But hey, now's as good a time as any then to look out over our kingdom, isn't it? God, I'm starting to love this house so much. In the base game, there's just never really much reason to expand and do crazy stuff like this. It's really just a place where you go to craft and store stuff, so I don't know, it's really cool to have gameplay incentive to do all this. With another bucket of water at the ready, I just want to do a little test to make sure that this will work the way I think it will. Now you should quickly spread to the leaves. I want to make sure that the water in the leaves won't prevent it from actually... maybe it will. If that does prevent it from burning, then that's a huge issue. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't do it this way. Now, if we were to try it a taller stack like this, with the water placed above the leaves... And then, I mean, this feels so wrong to do, but I kind of feel like we have to. Let me take that, and we'll get up there and start another fire. How will that work? Actually, we'll do it this way. Let's assume ideal conditions. Yep, goodbye, 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 goodbye. That's right. Nope, come out and do it over here. Oh, come on, you coward. I have to say, this is not a situation I've ever been in before. Ah, can you not get out through there? Oh, that is so dumb. You are so far away. Okay, well, I guess they can just break the rules and explode wherever they want now. Ideal conditions. Fire starts here, spreads a bit. It kind of has to do more than I would like. That's the issue that I'm having. This isn't going as quickly as one would hope. Let's try and control this a bit. And there you go. Okay, so it does work. It does work to do it this way. Of course, it doesn't stop it from spreading up there. And I'm trying to think, because, you know, obviously I don't like how these things look. These, you know, little things just jutting up in the top. So I'm starting to think of solutions, and I think we'll just incorporate them into the next floors as they come, right? Now, given the sheer number of the new things that have been added... Oh, you guys are going to be such a problem, aren't you? Nox has given me a helpful command to make sure we can build whatever we need. So if we go like that... 2,116 recipes unlocked. And all that does is reveal them in the book. So it should make things a bit easier. How am I getting downstairs now? Yep. The answer is rolling boss fight. Here we go. Come on, come on, come on. Switch to the bow. And die. You guys suck so hard. Now, if we have a look in here, we have 54 pages of items. And we can look at all these things. But, of course, what I'm really interested in is the decorative stuff. Bamboo spikes? Oh, that could be something we look into. Faucets, which I think we already knew about. Oh, wow, there's a whole lot of things. Elder wisteria petals. Scrimshaw altar. Okay, well, those could enhance our seance rooms. Framed pitch glass pane. What is pitch glass? I don't even know what that is, but okay, clearly a whole lot of things have opened up for us. We can make gargoyles. We can make gargoyles. Okay, well, that's what we're doing right now. Hey there. You know, it's all the more shocking when it's that blatant. When you're truly just right there in a place I'm constantly walking. I'm so used to seeing you like off in the distance or creeping around corners. But sometimes you just don't seem to care. I am in the process of checking out all the crazy new recipes I can get. And I'll be honest, I am seeing some really cool things. For example, we now have these gold sconces. So we can, where's a good place for these? Probably right, like here. Maybe we can even put candles in these things? In that case, we can get rid of you guys, because you're kind of redundant at this point, and you're going to need the headroom. Oh god, we can put these things, like, anywhere. We can make ornate iron bars. Wait, what do these do? They're basically just iron fences, but they're a little bit nicer looking. Okay, we can do that. Hang on, wait. I do have a candle here. Let's see if we can put these inside the sconces. Ooh, we can lower them. But I can't seem to put these in there. Okay, that's kind of nice, though. We can have them in either position. Hey, guys. Look what we can have. We are the Eye of Sauron now. I mean, I don't think we can actually literally look through it, but how cool would that be? Also, why don't we have that? I mean, we already have the functionality of the spyglass. Just give us that, but stationary. Come on, man. Well, I suppose we can always just make another spyglass and pretend to do so. But yeah, our wickedness knows no bounds. Oh, look at that rather unfortunate shadow on the lake. Well, you can't say we're not leaving our mark. What was that noise? I did not like that one bit. I'm also gonna try not building a room tonight. I'm gonna try sleeping in a chamber partway up through here that should be fine. Oh, I don't want to hear from you right now, you squeaky piece of... Alright, but before we do anything, before I even get upstairs, I want this right here. Because we need to figure out how we're doing this stone cutting. Alright, gargoyles require stone bricks, polished andesite, and chiseled stone bricks. You guys blew open the front door. Wait, that I don't understand. I've never seen that happen before. The creepers are starting to behave strangely, and I do not like it. Oh god, yeah, and they're letting in all the wildlife. You know, this is exactly why we put walls up in our community. Now we've got our bed from back there. We're gonna go up here. We could sleep in the stairwell if we needed to, honestly. But I think proofing this place against bad guys is going to be more important in the near term. Because clearly whatever we're doing here with lighting isn't good enough, not enough to be befitting of a seance room, even though it probably should be. Like, do these things just not give off that much light? But anyway, we slipped over there before, so over here, right under the stairs. Okay, just eat my bed. What was that about? Oh no, we got it back. But like, what was the deal with that? I was about to make myself another one. Alright, well, we'll try sleeping here. Should be fine. Although, to be honest, I don't particularly trust it, because that's kind of a diagonal. But it should be at least 8 blocks. Look, we can see down to the new wing from here. Alright, we'll remove you and we'll chalk this up. Stop, you're following me. I'm just trying to do my work. I just gotta get my work done, and then we'll be good. So if I place you there, and you there, and we'll just worry about the rest later. Oh my god, okay. Hopefully this will look cool. Now, if we just have a look from down below... There we go. That is exactly what I was hoping for. Nice and big and intimidating. Befitting a fortress of this stature. I swear, I just see Herobrine's eyes in the whites of those mushrooms every single time. Velvet barriers, framed crystallized glowstone pane, doormat? We can make doormats, you guys. The possibilities here are truly just endless. And I cannot wait to start getting into more of this. I thought I was doing a lot by having the sheep available. We now have many paintings to adorn our hallways with, and it's going to be an absolute pain to get them to fit in a way that makes sense. But you know what? That's all right, because I thought that we were doing a lot of crazy things with the new collectibles, but I'm starting to realize that we're only scratching the surface here. There, you know what? Yeah, sure, fine. You can be a wallpaper. Just gives us more reason to extend further down this way. Ooh, you know what we could do? Yes, that will actually work. Now, assuming that doesn't have any fire-absorbent properties, which I assume it doesn't, we could use that to hide fire suppression systems. Since we now have a little bit of an overlook right here, let's just do a nice little glass railing. Because, I mean, hey, if we're not changing things up, it's not very much of a mystery house, is it? And just, yeah, continue hanging these things wherever we can find room for them. It feels so good to be able to just, like, place what I want instead of just what I can afford. Yeah, this is looking so much nicer already. I can see really awesome things in this house's future that I think have been missing for the entire series. Let's bring some life to this room over here. Thank you. Oh, come on. Something that doesn't blend in with the wall, please. Thank you. Once I place these down, that should be everything up to here completely carpeted, meaning they should not spawn anywhere we don't want them to. And I think a good place to end this would be with expanding this out to cover the rest of the hill, meaning we'll have a hallway that sort of diverges right about here. Yeah, you and you're getting late. I'm getting ideas for how this hallway can work. And believe me, it's gonna be so friggin' cool. And I'm not gonna get to finish it in this part, but it's gonna be so friggin' cool, you guys. See, I'm still not sure exactly how I want this to play out. Overseeing as always, are we? But I'm thinking these can come out here and connect onto these balconies, and these wraparounds are kind of starting to become what defines this little area. There we go. And your ability to just drop down and kill me should you feel like it. Oh, and then you run away! Oh, and then you ambush again. I've never seen a spider so smart as you. But with your many eyes, you could not see the future where I kill you. But here we are now. These will just like go upstairs onto what will become another floor. At least somebody's having fun. Can you damage me like that? Oh, you can. Oh, wow. All right. Unfortunately, I am going to have to end you then. Maybe I can surgically remove you without harming the chicken. There we go. Chicken, I know you weren't part of this. Go back to your people. And I will go back to mine. Let's just bar this off for tonight, and depending on where we placed our chalk, we'll be able to see... Oh no, the chalk in here was destroyed. I think in this one we built it closer to this edge, so if we place our bed down over here, that should count as a room, right? All this will be fine just after we make sure we've got enough doors for the rest of the class. And I think this will be a good spot. How are we doing on that night? And we've still got time to build. I think my biggest realization in this part is I should be working into the night, not sleep until I need to. I mean, what kind of insomniac am I? But I'm also going to start building this floor up here. This can become a basin at ground level. The fire suppression system has frozen over. Okay, well, this is going to be another thing that I'm going to have to consider. Can we melt it? Can we use Spire to melt it? Honestly, not sure, but I think now seems a good spot to end it. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, good. The best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this mod out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one. And you know, I'm actually thinking now, this is another engineering problem we have to solve, is preventing these from freezing. We may have to start looking into non-cheesy ways to light our base. But with all the new options available to us, I think we can work something out.